She says, sweetheart, you already have been. And I was like, whoa. I burned out in this career for 11 years. On this one day, a friend of mine at the company referred me to an Indian restaurant. And I went to meet with this restaurant. When you walk in somewhere, usually you can get a good feel like, is this a good fit or not for what I'm selling? For me, it kind of felt like a no. The thing was under construction. I was in my head. I was pissed off. There was all these construction guys there that were in my way that were dealing with the owner first. I went up to her and she kind of just told me to go sit over there for a while. I said, how rude. I sat there for 20 minutes. I'm like, I shouldn't even be here. Eventually, she calls me over. I sit down. What began as a sales call, she started to tell me all about why the restaurant, the cultural heritage from India, her experience there, traveling there, how they want to bring those energies here and the celebrations and all the things that go with India. I got more and more fascinated. And then she started telling me about this pilgrimage that she went up this mountain called Mount Jammu in India. I was leaning in, getting more and more interested in what she was saying, to the point where I totally forgot about what I was selling. I was so fascinated because I was this early on seeker. And I always wanted to go on a spiritual journey. When I heard stories of other people going on journeys, it just lit me up. And what happened is the week before, I was all set to create a trip to Thailand with one of my best friends. He said, I'll call you next week. And I never heard from him still to this day. We never confirmed that trip. I was disgruntled about that. There was this opening. She's telling me, this wild pilgrimage. Now people have these self-realizations. And she said, but you only go if you're called. And I said, well, how do you know if you're called? And at this point, she leaned in and this warmth and tingling came over my body. It felt like I was sucked into some other little dimension, just me and her. And she leans in, she says, sweetheart, you already have been. And I was like, whoa. Within a month, I went to India. I packed a bag and I went for 10 days because that's all I could get off from work. I didn't set a hotel reservation. I went on this trip thinking I was going to go meditate in the mountains. It ended up being the wildest, most emotional roller coaster ride I've ever been on in 10 days. But that trip planted the seed in me for my love for travel. And it planted an energy in me from India that began to awaken me. And she was a very intuitive person. And it's the first time I had a run-in with somebody that saw something in me, opened something, and then I followed my yes immediately. And 4 years later, I'm traveling the world.
Beautiful.
Thank you. The funny thing is I never went to that mountain. I mean, the whole thing was a whole story.